management and career and life goals. So that's the topic for the day. And so it is not that we it is not that we don't understand the importance of time, right? So what exactly goes on with the time according to you people? Let me. It's like everybody knows time is very important. I don't have to tell you why time is so important and all. But still we are not able to manage time really well. Why do you think that happens? Like you can put your answers in the chat box. Why do you think that happens? Why do you think we are not able to productively manage our time, though we understand that it is very very important? Anyone? Anybody could give me an answer in the chat box, or you could unmute and talk to me. I'm okay with it. Why do you think we are still not able to manage time? Santosh says you can't organize. Okay. Santosh says you can't organize. How about other people? Samiksha, Shreyas. How about you people? Yeah, Rohan.
For me, it's actually urgency keeps coming on in my work. Every day something comes up, so that's the problem for me.
Okay. Shreyas says because of our laziness, maybe. Advaita says time pass activities. Okay, great. So I think most of you definitely realize what exactly is the problem, but then we're still not able to do it. So let's try to understand what are the kind of things that we could do slightly different that will make all the difference in our lives. See, even prioritizing is difficult sometimes, which is very true. Which is very true. So just because I'm taking this session doesn't mean that I'm absolutely great in time management. Yeah, of course there is one thing about me which is like I remember joining my first full-time job in Pune. In fact, second full-time job in Pune. My login time was 1:30, and I remember reaching my desk at 1:20. So 1:20, I reached my desk and I organized everything. I was about to log in, and my assistant manager, he came up to me and he asked, "What's your login time?" So I said 1:30, and he said, "Then you are late." And I said, "No, sir. I mean it's 1:30. I was here by 1:20." And he said, "Always keep this in your mind that if 1:30 is your login time, your desk time is 1 o'clock. You're supposed to reach here by 1 o'clock. And so if you plan it for 1 o'clock, you will plan your entire day, your entire schedule uh, in a way that you have to reach the desk at 1 o'clock. So even if you have some traffic block or some household chores that you are stuck with, it will always give you that half an hour buffer for you. So always keep that half an hour extra for you whenever you do something. I still remember that, and I still maintain that. Like even today, for all my meetings, if somebody calls me for a meeting at 9 o'clock, I keep it as 8:30. So my the clock in my car is actually 10 to 15 minutes faster. My watch, I always keep it 10 minutes faster. My mobile time is always like 10 minutes faster. So that whenever I look at it, I'm like, okay, I need to rush, and in my mind I'll always keep it half an hour buffer. And perhaps that is the reason why I think one of the major reasons why I have been able to succeed in my professional career is because I have been able to be very very punctual with timing. Nobody will ever say that Renjit Keshav started his session late. I'll always be online at least 5 minutes prior to the session, and so that is because punctuality or managing time, more than a skill, I think it is an attitude. That's what I feel. Managing time is an attitude. Managing time is not a skill. It is not a skill that you can probably learn from somebody, or textbook, or a video, or even from a training program. And it is not possible to learn time management. It is basically an attitude, and that is the difference between people who are absolutely successful and people who are less successful. Like if you see people like Newton, people like Edison, people like Tesla, people like Elon Musk, or a Steve Jobs, or a Bill Gates, somebody like a Mukesh Ambani, somebody like Santosh, somebody like Nitin or Advaita. You guys must be very happy since I took your name with all the stalwarts in the world. But all we need to understand is all of you have 24 hours. That's it. Those people, they didn't have like extra 5 hours to become extraordinary. They didn't have like extra 8 hours because of which they became great. The difference between people like us and people like those absolute greats is the fact that their attitude towards time Of course, they were indigenously talented. They had the right opportunity. That is definitely there. And we will also have our share of opportunities in life. I always believe that everybody has their own share of quota of opportunities, our own quota of talent. We just need to find the right area where we could use the talent. That is luck sometimes. But provided you have everything, I think your attitude towards the time, that's what makes all the difference. It is not the number of hours, guys. Sometimes we feel that, okay, I wish I had like 2 more hours. I wish I had like that 1 hour extra. I wish I had that like half an hour more to go back and revise my portions, or to go back and do that particular 3 questions which could have got me that brilliant job. We will always crave for that half an hour and 1 hour. But the real hallmark of people who are absolute achievers, absolute great, and people who are less achievers, it is not in terms of the skill, but in terms of their attitude towards time. So today, the 1 hour session, we are going to talk about an attitude. That is the reason why I didn't mention time management skills. No, I'll never call it as a time management skills. I'll always say it is about your attitude. So we are going to see how we can probably change our attitude towards time management, because I feel that is what makes a lot of difference. And if you see the quote at the bottom of the template, hard work is often the easy work you did not do at the proper time. So something that could have been done with ease, something that could have been done with all the time in the world, we kept it pending, we kept it pending, we kept it pending, and finally that became an absolute hard work for all of us. So what exactly is the difference? The difference was only in terms of attitude. Like we could have done something, but we didn't do it. And then finally, the nature of the task became so different that it became difficult for us. So it was not about the skill, but it was just about the attitude. And the second thing is, this is not something that has to be inherited from somebody. Just like it's not a talent like musical intelligence. Like if I have to sing, then I need to be talented. I'm a pathetic singer, but you need to be talented to sing. If you want to do a painting, you need to have the talent to paint. You want to do programming, to an extent you need to be skillful and talented. But to manage time, you don't have to be talented. You don't have to inherit. You don't have to be gifted to manage time. It is basically your decision. Basically, it is your attitude. So there are two things that we should establish in the beginning itself. One, time management is not a skill, but it is an attitude that makes the whole difference in the situation. And the second thing is, this is not inherited. This is not talented, but basically it is just about your approach towards whatever is being offered to you. But if you look at the slide, the only difference between a rich person and a poor person is how they use their time. As I said earlier, it is about your attitude towards the time, that makes a lot of difference. Sometimes people believe that it is actually the intelligence that will get you your campus placement job. Or sometimes people believe it is that intelligence, or it is the IQ that actually determines your career growth in a corporate world. But sometimes, we understand that it is not. There are a lot of other things that probably, we could do, which would have probably made a lot of difference. So let's just brief this attitude part of it. What do we mean by the whole attitude towards time management? Your daily schedule plus your habits determine the outcome of your life. Do you agree with me when I say that? Your daily schedule plus your habits determine the outcome of your life, whatever it is, be it good or bad, be it positive or negative. It is a result of your daily schedule and your habits. Do you agree with me when I say that? Yeah, you do agree with that, right? So that's the first takeaway of the session. So that means if you think you are struggling with your time management, that means you will have to make changes in two things, which is, one is you'll have to make certain changes in your daily schedule, and the second thing is you will have to make certain changes in your habits. So this is something that I have been telling a lot of people, and I want all of you to remember this line. See, you cannot do the same things again and again and expect the result to be different. Yes or no? Do you agree with me when I say that? You can't do the same things again and again, and expect the results to be different. Do you agree with me when I say that? Everyone? Yeah? Yeah, correct. So when you actually want the outcome to be different, when you want the results to be different or better, it is very simple. Like, how many of you saw that RCB match where Virat Kohli dropped those two sitter of a catch? How many of you saw the match? How many of you saw that? How many of yeah, Nitin saw the match. Anybody else? It Virat Kohli is considered to be one of the best athletes in the world. He's considered to be one of the one of the players with the best physique, and they say he's an amazing fielder. But then it was like there were like two easy catches of KL Rahul that he eventually dropped. Now, why that happened is because of course there was a lockdown, and probably his daily schedule and his habits could have been totally different from how it was the pre-lockdown stage. And probably he had to face the result, or he had to take the brunt of the result because of his daily schedule plus his habits. It's exactly like that. Even his success was a result of his daily schedule and habits. Like right from his childhood, he has been practicing. He worked on his physique. He worked on his game, his attitude towards his time. His talent was perfect, and he was able to produce some fantastic results. The moment his daily schedule and his habits changed, that actually produced sort of a negative result. So it's very simple, right? You cannot do the same thing again and again and expect the results to be different. So if you are planning to produce a different result, then obviously you will have to make slight changes with your daily schedule as well as your daily habits. Why is it that it is so important? Of course, everybody can make money, but you can't make time. That is very, very important. Like I'll recommend all of you to watch this movie. I don't know how many of you have seen this movie. Has anybody seen this movie In Time? Justin Timberlake, I think he has acted in. I saw the movie like long back. So if you haven't watched this movie, then I'll definitely recommend you to watch this movie In Time, and you will understand the Nitin I saw. Yes, in the movie, great. If you watch this movie, you will understand the importance of time, because in that entire movie they have made sort of an artificial world where everybody works for time. They don't get paid in money, but they get paid in time, and it's so beautifully done that you understand the importance of time. You can make money, man, but then you can't make time. So even if you ask somebody like a Warren Buffett, one of the richest guys in the world, he's an investor, and Warren Buffett would say that what is more important at this point of time is the time that I have in my hand. You take somebody like a Steve Jobs, he did his share of inventions and achievements, and he had to how much of a money that you make in this world, one day then you have to say goodbye to everybody. You have to say goodbye to the world, and you have to leave, because money cannot buy time for anyone, and all of us have probably a similar amount of time. And again, they say that an inch of gold cannot buy an inch of time. So I always say this to people, that the right thing has to be done at the right time. You cannot do the right thing in the wrong time, and you cannot do the wrong thing at the right time, right? So if you are probably just starting up your career, if you are probably in your campus, like see, it would be very difficult for me to talk to somebody who's around 30 plus, 35 plus, because I somehow believe that when you are in your mid 20s, early 20s, that's I'm not saying it is impossible, but the best time is actually your age, probably 20, 22, 24, 26. That's the right time when you can probably go and start doing a lot of right things. Like if I had an opportunity to go back to my college days, trust me, I would have probably managed my time, much more productively and efficiently. I somehow want to go back and change the outcome of my graduation, but quite unfortunately, I cannot do that, and I cannot buy that time again. Like I'm very sure you guys, like, how many of you had such a thought that in 10th standard, had I worked a bit more, my marks would have been slightly more better? How many of you have thought like that? Okay, Shreyas. Okay, Santosh agrees with that. Anyone else? Or your 12th standard, or your graduation? I mean, that actually irks us. We always feel that maybe one of those board exams, when you got the question paper last semester, when you got the question paper and you saw the question, you are like, I saw this question, but I didn't have the time, so I skipped it. And now the same question is there on the paper. How many of you have thought like that? How many of you have had such thoughts? Like, this question paper was there, it was there in front of me, but I didn't have enough time, so I skipped it. I went to the next question, and now that particular question is that it is there every time. Correct. And that's some instances where we actually want to go back and buy that time, but it is not possible. So if Shreyas, you will probably become 35, Santosh will probably become 40, Advaita, you'll probably become 40, and you guys would look back and think, had I put in more effort, had I put in more of my attitude towards managing time, probably if I had made that small change in my daily schedule, or maybe that habit, maybe the outcome would have been totally different. But the most important thing for any time management is the fact that you need to have your goals. That's very, very important. See, it is very difficult for any human being to have the right attitude towards time without a goal in their mind. Understand that. Like even when somebody, like, you take all these sports people, you will understand that they have a goal. Like people talk about, like if you talk to athletes, they will talk about the Olympics. They will talk about like 2014 Olympics, or 2020 Olympics, or you talk to a soccer player, he will talk about the World Cup. You talk to a cricket player, he will talk about a World Cup, because that is the goal. That is how they plan everything. Like Mahendra Singh Dhoni, I mean, he decided to retire because the World Cup cricket is coming in maybe a couple of years, and he wants to give chance to a new young wicket keeper who could probably get into the team for 2 years time, get used to it, gel with the team, understand the temperament, have the confidence to play a big tournament. It is always like that. If you don't have a great goal in your mind, you will never have the right attitude towards the time. Understand? Like it's simple, right? You buy an amazing car, okay, and you have all the money in the world to fill the gas, like the petrol, but you don't know where exactly you are driving. You don't know where exactly you are driving, and it doesn't make any sense. When you actually, a free drive is perfectly fine, but when you know the destination, that is when you want to plan it. Like, okay, I need to drive for 4 hours, so I shouldn't exhaust my energy. And it is always like that. So whenever you have a goal, like for example, like I used to go to a gym here. So I used to go to a gym for my regular fitness work, and I've been a regular there for almost like 10 years now. uh, it's very fascinating. Huh? When some new and new registration happens in the gym, this guy, and that usually happens in the month of Jan every year, because that is when a lot of people take the New Year resolution and they join gym. And they once they enter into the gym, and the receptionist will say that you can talk to our trainer. And so the trainer will talk to this guy, this new guy. And so the trainer will ask him, why do you want to join the gym? And he will say that, I want to work out. Then I say, no, no, no. He like, why do you want to work out? And he's like, I want to work out. I want to do this. And he's like, no, you please tell me, do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain weight? Or do you want to gain muscles? Or do you want to improve your stamina, or improve your endurance? Or do you want to improve your flexibility or agility? What exactly is your goal of joining the gym? Because only if you exactly understand why you are joining this gym, only then you will be able to understand how and why, probably when everything could be done according to that. So if you don't have a goal when you get into a gym, your workout, you cannot self motivate yourself to work out. And that is when I realized that it is important in life to have specific goals. It's very, very specific goals. You and you know because we don't have those specific goals, like, uh, I want to do well in my life. That is not a goal. That is not a goal. That is your destination. But how do you want to reach there? Okay, is it through a job? Is it through business? Or is it through some invention? Or is it through a startup? How do you want to reach there? So that has to be your eventual goal, right? How exactly you want to reach there. So unless and until you have a goal, you cannot have the right attitude towards managing your time. Understand that. So I don't know. I mean, different people have got different goals. I mean, I don't know. You take something like somebody like a student who is an aspirant for civil service. Just because you have that coveted examination as a goal, you are able to spend 14 hours a day. Otherwise, how would you do that? Just because somebody is so passionate about cracking GATE exam or a CAT exam, and that's the reason why certain students are ready to spend almost like 2 hours every day. Somebody who badly wants to get into an IIT would probably burn their midnight oil right from 8th standard, 9th standard, just because you have that one goal. Maybe they don't have it, but even the parents might have that goal. Just because you keep that one goal, or maybe you take all those soldiers who are at the borders, and you will know that just because they have that one goal to protect our country and our people, they are ready to even give their lives. So unless and until you have a very, very specific goal in your mind, you will never have the right attitude towards managing time. Understand that. So goals could be different, right? Different goals, different people have different goals. Like for some people, it could be to improve your standard of living. It could be, to make more money, to do really well, and that could be your personal goal. Uh, Somebody, it could be your professional goals. Like you want to reach that personal goal through your professional goals, by having the right career growth. For some people, it could be your academic goals, like qualifications and degrees, which you think will help you to achieve that bigger goal of your life, which is your personal goals. For some people, it could be your key skill goals. Key skills could be something like you want to improve your communication skills. So you want to learn English communication. That could be your goal. Somebody like me, I always keep a goal to keep myself very fit in life. Like I don't like my tummy coming out. So I always keep this goal of maintaining my weight. So whatever I do, my daily schedule and my habits around the goal of keeping myself fit, I do my planning according to that. So whatever I eat, so I don't basically eat rice. I don't take sugar. So those are my habits, which is actually leading. I'll turn 38 this year, and I recently, one of my friends, she told me that I hardly see men in 30s without a tummy, without those that pouch. So I'm pretty happy for that, because that is my goal. That is my goal, because I don't want to have a tummy coming out. So my daily schedule, my daily habits, everything is around that. So that is my key skill goal. You might have a key skill goal to improve your communication skills. Sometimes you might have a sort of an academic goal to crack a job with TCS or an Infosys. Sometimes you might want to do an executive MBA while you're working with a company, or you might want to do your PhD, or you might want to do a paper presentation or a journal. Sometimes you plainly want to build a house. That is what I meant by personal goals. You want to build a house for your family. So once you keep that goal in your mind, and then probably you work backwards. I don't know your individual goals. If you have your individual goals, then please put in the chat box. I would love to know your goals. Can you just put it in the chat box, guys? It could be anything, right from losing weight to learning English, buying a fancy car, building an independent, beautiful villa for your family, or European trip. It could be anything. Santosh says he wants to become a soft skills trainer. And start your own IQ Rhapsody. Great, Santosh. Thank you. Anybody else? Can I know your individual goals? Okay, so that is your key skill goal, Santosh. You want to become a soft skills trainer. Okay. Anyone else? Shreyas, Nitin, Surya, Samiksha. IAF. Okay, great. Anyone else? Nitin wants to get into IAF. Anybody else? Advaita, Samiksha. If you don't have a goal, then tell me that, sir, no, I don't. Shreyas says be a successful project manager. Okay. Shreyas has got a professional goal. Nitin has got an academic goal. Santosh has got a key skill goal. Okay. Anyone else? If you don't have a goal, you can type no goals. That is perfectly fine. Okay. Nobody. Samiksha, what's your goal, Samiksha? Samiksha, do you have a goal? Surya, do you have a goal? You want to be a great trader. The stock market trader, is that what you mean? You want to get into stock market? Rohan says stock market. Samiksha says stock market. You want to become a investor or a trader? Intraday trader then. Okay, intraday trader. Wow. You will become the next Porunju Veliath or Rakesh Junjunwala, right? Okay. Rohan says to work in a reputed automotive company. Okay. Advaita says still confused about goals. Okay, so Rohan has got a professional goal. Shreyas has got a professional goals. Okay, great. So I think that is the first and the foremost point, guys. That you have to put that first goal on your paper. That this is what I want to do. So when Rohan says that he wants to work in a reputed automotive company, I would rather say that which automotive company you want to aim for. That is very, very important. It's just like Rohan is saying, I've just come to gym to work out. No, what exactly is your goal there? Which company you want to work, and which department do you want? Do you want to get into R&D? Do you want to get into service? Do you want to get into designing? Do you want to get into production? So what exactly is your goal? So narrow down your goals, and that is very, very. The more you narrow your goals, it is actually better. And Shreyas is saying be a successful project manager. But and again, which department, or do you have a company in your mind that you're totally aspirational for? I think that's very, very important. Surya says good rank in gate exam. All right. So that good rank is what? What is a good rank? That you have to decide. Do you want to come in the top 100, top 500, top 1000, top 5000? Because once you have below 300, so once you realize that you need to come, inside that first 300, then obviously you know that you will have to put in that much of extra effort to get in there. And that's what that's what happens when you actually narrow down your goals to exactly precise that this is exactly what I want. You might get it, you may not get it. That is perfectly fine. But at least you will have some sort of a clarity. So, for example, if Rohan says that I want to get into BMW, okay, I want to work with BMW, or I want to work with Volkswagen Germany, then probably Rohan could work around that. Then his networking will be from, with people from which company, Rohan. If I say that you'll have to work on this goal, you have this you have narrowed down your goal to work with Volkswagen, then obviously if I say that, okay, you are, obviously I'm saying that you have to do a task list. You have to make a list, a personal information management system in terms of the list of tasks that you're supposed to do to achieve that goal. Obviously, one of the goals for Rohan would be what? Networking. So who exactly would be Rohan's aspirational network? Obviously, people from Volkswagen. So he will go to LinkedIn, he will connect with people from Volkswagen, he will start sending out messages to them, they will reply to him. Then Rohan would ask, what is it I'm supposed to do? Do they take people like me? Or if they have to take people like me, what should be the journey like? And then you chart out your the list of tasks that you're supposed to do. So suppose Surya is saying she wants to get inside the first 300 for GATE exam. So which is the best institute? Which are the books? Which are the resources that I'm supposed to rely upon? What are the exam tests? How much time do I require? Then you start planning. Somebody like Nitin, who wants to get into IAF, or somebody like Samiksha wants to become a great trader, then obviously you make your list of tasks in terms of what exactly am I supposed to do to achieve that task. That is very, very important. So for example, like my key skill is to maintain my weight. That is my goal. So my list of tasks is what? I'm not supposed to eat sugar. I'm not supposed to eat fried foods. I'm not supposed to eat rice. Right. So I'm also supposed to work out at least 20 to 30 minutes every day so that I can achieve that goal. So the first point is, once you understand what exactly is your goal, it is important that you want to narrow down your goal. So for example, Santosh wants to become a soft skills trainer. Santosh, this is the biggest mistake that a lot of people do. See, you have to specialize in something. So what do you want to specialize in? Do you want to specialize as a leadership speaker? Or do you want to specialize as a motivational speaker? Or do you want to specialize as a communication skill trainer? Or do you want to specialize as a voice and accent trainer? Or a sales trainer? Or an outbound trainer? So it is very, very important that you decide what sort of a soft skills trainer you want to become. And then what happens? The books that you read will be based on that. The videos that you watch on YouTube will be based on that. The interviews of people that you watch will be based on that. And that is the difference between having just a goal and narrowing down your goal. And then you start working on the list of tasks when you're actually about to go and achieve the goal. That is very, very important. Are you getting my point, everyone? Did you understand what I said? Great. Now, once that is done, so somebody like Nitin is talking about IAF, right? Then he'll have to start thinking about the books, the people, maybe the institute in which could help him, etc., etc., etc. Now, once you have set out, your goals. Obviously, this is exactly what I was talking about. For example, if you are a student, you have an academic goal. So ensure you invest adequate time in academics. Of course, the eventual idea is to get a placement. You make a plan, and the most important thing is you adhere to the plan. If you have a professional goal, then obviously, if you're part of a technology industry or any industry, then you will have to be open to learn, unlearn, and relearn. You will have to learn newer things. You will have to improve your networking. You will have to understand the industry that you're working. Be more aware of the opportunities. Make a plan, and then again, you will have to adhere to it. Sometimes, as I said, if you have a health goal, identify what you want to achieve. You want to lose weight, improve stamina, etc., etc. Then probably you want to achieve the right resource who could help you out. Maybe it could be an online trainer, or you could directly go to a gym, or maybe it could be just YouTube videos, that you could watch to work out. Again, you make a plan and you adhere. A key skill goal, like you want to learn communication skills, then what do? You pick up any personal skill that you believe that you have to learn. It could be anything. It could be even something like communication skills, or it could be anything that you believe will improve your life personally. uh, of course, find the right resource. When I say the right resource, I don't mean just the people. It could also be internet, online information that you have. You make a plan and you adhere to it. So if you see, the two most common things in all the goals that I've mentioned is make a plan and adhere to it. So making a plan is very, very, very important. And what will help you to make a plan? When you actually narrow down your goals to the most specific of what you want to achieve. If you do that, then yeah, that activity, what exactly needs to be done, becomes much, much more easier. Rather than saying that I want to achieve this, you will have to rather say that I want to achieve this particular thing, and that is what will take me to my next level in life. So what exactly is the key differentiator? I've always been asked this question by a lot of people, that uh, what exactly is the secret of somebody's success? Is it always intelligence? So I'm asking you this question: do you think intelligence really matters, or intelligence is the key differentiator, or the talent is the key differentiator between two people, where one will succeed and the other one will fail? Do you think the talent is the key differentiator? Do you think so? Okay, Rohan says no. So make sure everybody says no. Okay. So what is the key differentiator according to you? Attitude. Okay. Surya says attitude. Anybody else? Samiksha says attitude. Okay. Okay. Of course. I think that's the most important thing, right? And this is what I've been telling a lot of people. This is something that John Maxwell said, that small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. And this is exactly the key differentiator. I don't think that you being at the top of anything in life, it could be anything like sports, or it could be business, commerce, it could be even academics. I don't think the difference between somebody at the top and somebody who is at the bottom is only intelligence. The key differentiator is the fact that consistency is very, very important. People fail because of their lack of consistency to do anything. You take anything in this world, like for Ice Cube Rhapsody. I remember when Ice Cube Rhapsody was proposed by a friend of mine, from my previous venture, I Talk, where he said that, Renjit, anyways you have a Zoom account, anyways you're sitting at home, why don't you do something on Sundays? So when the moment he said that, okay, well, let's do something on Sunday, I told my team that let's do something called as Ice Cube Rhapsody. Now, for Ice Cube Rhapsody to become something absolutely great, I cannot just do it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks and expect, Ice Cube Rhapsody to become absolutely great. Like today, I might just have like 9 people or 10 people or 13 people. Like last week, I had like probably 10 people. Before that, I had like 40 people. Next week, I'll probably have just 3 people. And maybe the subsequent week, I may not have anybody there. But I'll have to consistently take Ice Cube Rhapsody over a period of time to make Ice Cube Rhapsody into something absolutely big. So I could be a great speaker, I could be a great trainer, okay? But just doing it twice or thrice may not make Ice Cube Rhapsody absolutely big. What will actually make Ice Cube Rhapsody absolutely great is the fact that I should be able to consistently deliver Ice Cube Rhapsody every Sunday at 4:30 or 5 o'clock. And then maybe after a year, expect this to become something absolutely great. And that is the difference when you do something consistently and when you actually fail to do so. So when you have a plan, like you plan to, go to LinkedIn and do networking with people from BMW, when you start preparing for GATE, you should understand that the most important thing is the fact that how much consistency can you bring in. into your goal, into your what can be done, and that is very very important. I don't know. Have you heard this military captain talk about a boxing incident where consistency helped those people to win? I think I said this in one of my sessions previously. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if any of you were there, but for people who are new, let me just tell you this amazing incident that I happened to hear from a captain from the military, where he said that when one of the ustads, they call the trainers ustad in military, where he said that there were a couple of lanky military jawans in his team who were getting ready to go for a boxing competition. So the lanky means they're like very, very lean, they're not very strong guys. So they kept asking Ustad that, Ustad, do you think we can actually go and win this bout? Because we don't feel as powerful as other people. And the Ustad said, no, it is okay. Just keep practicing, and your job will be done. And he kept teaching them all the skills and the techniques. So he taught them like how to be a light footer and stuff. And towards the end of every day, towards the end of the day session, Ustad would ask these people to take their index finger and put this index finger on the ground, and he will ask them to take one full circle with the index finger on the ground, and he will ask them to repeat that for 24 times. Like, you have to put your index finger on the ground, take a circle, and then get up and come back and punch for 24 times, come back, again take the rotation, come back, punch. And the ustad will ask them to repeat this for almost 24 times every day. And none of these lanky jawans realized why ustad is actually making them do this, because after a couple of days they went back and told ustad that, ustad, I'm feeling slightly giddy, I'm feeling, I feel like I'll faint, because this is not doing any good for me. And ustad said, you're on the right path, please continue doing this. And they kept doing it for 2 months and 3 months and 4 months and 5 months, but ustad never really told them why they have to do it. And the day the bout happened, the opponent guy, he gave a solid punch on this guy's head, and he started fainting. He started feeling slightly giddy about the punch. And the opposite guy, who was like more powerful, he actually thought this guy is going to fall down, because obviously when you get a strong punch on your head, you are supposed to fall. And the opposition guy, he thought this guy is going to fall, so he put his arms down. But what exactly his practice has taught him when he's fainting? His practice has taught him when he's fainting, his practice has taught him the fact that go and give 24 punches. And that is what has been practiced for 6 months. From his ustad, this is what they learned, that whenever you faint, you go and you punch 24 times. And when the opponent was least expecting the punch to happen, this guy gave the punch of his life, 24 punches on the other guy's face. And eventually he went on to win the bout. And if you see, the difference is not in terms of the power. The difference was in terms of he learned something, and he was consistently able to practice that for about 5 to 6 months, which eventually became the key differentiator for his success. And that is the reason why I always say that consistency is very, very important. Did you understand the story? Did you understand the analogy that I explained it to you? Yeah. So I think the day I got to hear this story, I realized that certain things have to be done consistently over a period of time. Otherwise, you will never be able to achieve the kind of success that you want to do it. It is possible for everybody to do something for maybe a day, for 2 days or 3 days, or maybe for a week. But successful people are those people who can probably do the same thing again and again. And as I said earlier, that small things done consistently over a period of time will produce absolutely great results. Like, you want to have a six-pack, you will have to work out for, I always say this, you cannot walk into a gym for 15 days and produce, or 20 days and work out for 20 minutes and produce, a six-pack. But probably if you can work out for 20 months for 20 minutes, probably there are more chances that you will produce a six-pack. So the difference is not in terms of those 20 minutes, but the difference is in terms of those 20 months, which actually made a difference. So it is not about how much you do at a time, but it is also about how long can you do that particular thing. That is very, very important. So you want to spend 10 minutes into something, you want to spend 15 minutes into something, perfectly fine. Don't. So the biggest challenge for all of us is, whenever we set out to do something, we are always thinking, oh my Jesus, I have to do this for 1 hour, I have to do this for half an hour. Don't think like that. Start off very slow. Start off very slow in the sense, like, keep smaller intervals, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes, but ensure that you will do it for a longer period, no, longer duration. Longer duration in the sense, you will do it for 21 days or 30 days or 40 days. You want to lose weight, just take 15 minutes, but do it over a period of time. You want to take 10 minutes, you want to read English books, you feel like reading English books, but you are not able to do it, read only for 10 minutes. You want to go to LinkedIn, spend 10 minutes over there. You want to do an online course, do 15 minutes of that. But do it for 3 months, do it for 4 months, do it for 6 months. That is what makes the difference. So it is not about how much you invest in a day, but it is about investing something, which could be anything, any interval, but over a period of time. And you should always remember that your decision and action today must be connected to your goals of tomorrow. And I always ask this to my students, that they come back and say that, sir, I like to, I like to just sit and do nothing. Sometimes I like to sleep a lot. Sometimes I like to probably, chill with my friends. And they say that, sir, uh, is it wrong? Is it wrong to do things like this? That I'm lazy? Is it wrong that I don't want to do anything? I say no. I mean, just not to do something itself is a skill. Trust me when I say this. Not to do something itself is like a great skill. How long can somebody just sit and not do something? That itself is a skill. That is not an attitude. Trust me, that is a skill. Just to get up in the morning and not to do anything itself is a skill. And is there something wrong with it? Nothing is wrong with it. But the whole point is this, 15 years down the line, do you still want to sit and do nothing? Then this is the right decision for you. You're getting my point. 15 years down the line, you just want to sit and do nothing in life. You still want to just kill time. Then you are doing the right thing. But 15 years down the line, you want to reach the top of a company, top of the hierarchy. You want to, climb the rungs of the ladder in an R&D department or an instrument. I mean, just give me a second, guys. Yeah. Can you guys hear me? Yeah. So if you probably want to reach 15 years down the line, you want to reach the at the top of the hierarchy of a corporate, then probably your decision and your action today must be connected to your goals of tomorrow. I can give an example from my personal life. So I appear on English television channels once in a while, and once I started appearing on English news channels, I got the opportunity to appear on the regional Malayalam news channels also. So initially, I thought, okay, it will be a good amount of publicity, good branding. It will be good to appear in the regional news channels. So I did that. Of course, the amount of branding that I received from regional channels, it was probably 20 times more than what it was with a Republic or a Times Now or a CNBC. I was so happy. I was so happy that wow, my branding is getting better. But what happened on the other end was, I was marked by a lot of people saying that, okay, he is inclined towards a particular political party. I was branded to be something which suited their convenience. Of course, there were a lot of trolls and abuses that kind of followed with all the things that I do, which is very common with people who appear on television, because television debates are supposed to polarize people. So you will always have one group of people who will support you, the other group of people who will oppose you, and people who oppose you will always abuse you or they will troll you. And then I reached a particular point where I asked this question to myself that, okay, what is my eventual goal? Do I want to get into politics? No, I don't want to get into politics. Do I want to be a social figure who will influence on issues which is affecting the society and its people? No, that is still not my goal. Then why should I go through it? That was my question. Why should I go through it? I want to be known as a leadership speaker. I want to influence students. I don't want to polarize them. I don't want them to have a preconceived notion about me. So is this the right path for me? Is this the right decision? Is this the right action which is connecting me to my goals of tomorrow? No, it didn't. And that day I realized that I shouldn't do it. And I started saying no to all the regional channels. And I said, I don't want to do it. They thought I'm a perfect guy to fit into that whole, television screen where I could shout and I could debate and I could do stuff. But I said, this is not the way I want to lead my life, because this is not my eventual goal. Yes, of course, if I wanted to become a politician, trust me, I would have gone through all the abuses and the trolls and everything. But just because it didn't connect me to the goals of tomorrow that I had for myself, I decided to take a decision that I'm not going to do it. Like even now, why is it that I'm staying away from the news channel is because they want to drag me into Sushant Singh Rajput's case. But I don't want to be part of that, because my goals for tomorrow has got nothing to do with me being part of that circus and masala. So I said that, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do something. So the whole point is this: whatever decision that you are taking today, whatever action that you are taking today, you always need to ask this question to yourself: that is it connected to your goals of tomorrow, or is this actually taking me closer to my goal or not? If it is not, then you have taken the wrong decision. Then you have probably taken the wrong action, and you will have to probably change it. So this is something that I always say: time blocks. So what do you mean by time blocks? See, if I just imagine, just assume that I'm giving you 100 units of time every week, like 100 units of time every week. If I'm probably making 4 quadrants for you. So one quadrant is if you're a student, then education. If you're a working professional, job. Then obviously your family. The third is your friends, your social media, travel, leisure, everything. And the fourth one is the goal that you have set out for yourself. All right. If I give you 100 units every week, so probably you tell me now that how much time do you spend on your education? How many units? The way you are going right now, the decision and the actions that you're taken right now in your life, out of 100 units, how many units are you dedicating for your first quadrant, which is job or education? How many units are you dedicating to your family? How many units are you dedicating to friends, social media, travel, leisure? And how many units are you dedicating to the final quadrant, which is your goals? I want you to type this message, and I want to see out of 100 units, how many units, the way you have taken the decision and action till today, till 5 o'clock today, how many units, assumingly, have you invested in each of these quadrants till now? 100 units every week. Can you please type in the chat box? I would like to see. So you can probably just type like first, second, third, fourth, first 60, second 30. You can type like that, and I can probably make an inference out of that. Yep, I'll give you 15 seconds time, please. You want me to repeat the question? Okay, Rohan says job is 80. Okay, you can type it as one sentence, like first quadrant how much, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Yeah. Did you understand the question, everyone? Did you understand the question? No, what? Oh, you want me to repeat the question? Yeah, I can do that. See, I give you 100 units every week. The decisions and the actions that you are taking now, how much do you think you will be investing? How much do you think you are investing on all these quadrants out of 100 units? Yeah. Nitin says 50 for education, 15 for family, 15 for friends, social media, 20 for your goals. Okay, great. Samiksha says 60 for education, 10 for your family, 10 for friends, and 20 for your goals. Okay, great. Advaita says 40, 25, 25, and 10. Shreyas says 70, 10, 10, and 10. Okay, Rohan says 10 is second, 5 is third. Okay, 5 is fourth. Okay, so Rohan, you need to improve your social circle a bit, right? Great, great, great. If you look at all of us, okay, if you look at Surya says 40, 20, 10, and 30, which is remarkable, which is really good. If you look at most of us, you will understand that. Santosh, did you understand the question, Santosh? Yeah, Santosh. Okay, 60, goal is 60, family is 20, social is 20, job is 10. Okay, fantastic. Now, if you look at all these four quadrants, you might understand that most of us do not spend a lot of time in the fourth quadrant. Or maybe we could say we don't consistently spend that much time in the goal quadrant, just how we invest our time consistently over the other three. Do you agree with me when I say that? We are able to consistently, without any doubt, without any laziness, we are able to invest our time in the first three quadrants. But when it comes to investing in the goal quadrant, we struggle. Do you agree with me when I say that? The consistency takes a lot of effort. Yes or no? Correct. Correct. Yeah. You know why exactly that happens? Because the first one, two, and three, the first three quadrants, the framework is already designed and set up by somebody else. We just have to adhere to it. Why is it that social media is very exciting for us? We don't have to do anything about it. We just have to be part of the bandwagon. Why job or education is exciting for us? Because we just have to be part of that bandwagon. We just have to go to the office. We don't have to create anything over there. We just have to be part of the system, right? You take something like a family, the framework is already set there. We don't have to take an effort to create a framework because the framework is already there. But what if somebody told you that you join BTech, but you will have to develop the syllabus, you will have to design the syllabus, design the exam, you will have to write the exam. You have to start everything from the scratch to the top. You have to do everything. Then the idea of education, the framework of education becomes what? It becomes sort of an independent and self-sufficient quadrant. Then do you think you will have the same approach towards education if somebody is asking you to design and execute education or design and execute job? Do you think it will be that easy like how it is now? Do you think it will be that easy if you were asked to design and execute the job responsibilities or what you need to be done? No, it doesn't, right? Never. It wouldn't be. So people find it very easy to invest time in fixed framework, but people find it very difficult to invest time in framework which is independent, which is something that we need to do it. And that is precisely the reason why we always struggle, and there is always a challenge to invest our time in certain goals, because we need to develop the framework. We need to develop how we are going to go about it. So before that, before we start planning, before we start thinking, this is the Eisenhower method that which is quite popular with people with time management. See, we are in September 2020 now, so each one of you have your own goals right now. So Shreyas wants to become a project manager. Samiksha wants to become a trader. Nitin wants to get into IAF. Advaita is still not sure about it, which is perfectly good. Santosh wants to become a soft skills trainer, which is great. If you look at the impact of your goals, it is your goal because it is important for you. Correct? It is definitely important for you. So, for example, somebody like me, my key skill is to maintain my weight. Is that very important for me? It is very, very important for me, but it is not very urgent. Like, I'm not having any medical issues. I'm not diabetic. I don't have blood pressure. I don't have cholesterol, nothing. So it is not very urgent. Like, you might have seen these people who start their workout and diet when they're diagnosed with cholesterol or BP or cancer. Do you agree with me when I say that? People all of a sudden become health conscious when they see their medical reports. Do you agree with me? Yeah. That is mostly because it has become important and it has become very urgent for them. But when the stakes were really low, when they were pretty young, like 25, 30, when it was important to maintain your fitness, but it was not very urgent, nobody gives a damn about it. People start getting these ideas of working out and diet only when they're diagnosed with a cancer or diabetes or blood pressure or sugar. So right now, when you have a goal at the age of probably 21 or 25, this is exactly the reason why I said I would have struggled a bit to talk about all this to a person who is probably 30 or 35 plus. But for somebody like people like you, it is very important. Now that we are in September 2020, somebody wants to have a great living standards. Somebody wants to have a great career. Somebody wants to have a great score, a great qualification and degree. Somebody wants to lose weight or learn English. Is it very important? It is extremely important. But is it like very urgent right now? No, it is not very urgent. But if you don't work around this, And probably when we reach 2030, 10 years down the line, is it important? Yes, it is very, very important. But then it will probably start becoming urgent as well. Like all of a sudden, you would require more money to live a good life. All of a sudden, you might feel that I didn't make it through in my career. Like I didn't make it big in my career. Sometimes you might feel that I just became an ordinary engineer like a lot of other people. I couldn't get into an IIT, or I couldn't get into an IIF, or I never really made an effort to get into an IIF. So the same goals that was important and not urgent at one point of time has probably, it has translated into an important one, of course, but it became very urgent because you badly want to do it. You badly want to get it done. Now, then what happens is Eisenhower says that when you have a very important goal and when it is not urgent, that is the right time. When you do it at the right time, you have a clear vision of goals. Like right now, Shreyas or Nitin, Advaita, Surya, Rohan, you have absolutely clear vision. Even if you make some mistakes, you have the time to review it. Okay, your parents are still supporting you, at least most of you. You are not married. Most of you are not married. You don't have responsibilities, so you don't have any tension, nothing. You could be more productive, efficient, and effective. But 10 years later, when the stakes are like quite high, what happens? It becomes important, urgent. You might face a crisis if you don't have the right standard of living. There will be tension because you will be married, you will have kids, you may not have enough time to review. Chances of failure is very high. Your productivity and efficiency, sometimes you might be able to make it, like at the age of 30, 32, sometimes you might be able to make it, but it is not very sure. So the same goals, just because the time changed from 2020 to 2030, the whole nature of your goal itself changed over a period of time. And that is what time does to people. That something that could have been easily approached with the right attitude became sort of a crisis for you because the time changed over a period of time. And that is the impact that wrong time management does to people. Understand that. Now, where exactly are we going wrong when it comes to managing time in a very negative or a wrong manner? Always remember this, guys. I'll say two important points here. All right. Do not waste your time on two things. One, not important and urgent things. What do you mean by not important, urgent things? You must learn to say no to people. So, not important, urgent are the kind of things that you commit with your friends and your family, which is not very important for you. You're doing it out of peer pressure. You're doing it out of peer pressure. Just because that's a family, that's he's a friend or something. You're committing to it, and then it becomes very urgent, and it is actually taking your time. Taking responsibilities which doesn't help you to achieve your goals, start saying no to people. Unnecessary meetings and activities not contributing to your goals, say no to people. Committing to things for friends and family not relevant to your goals, say no to people. That's the reason we say that more than the power to say yes to people, you need to have the power to say no to people. So anybody who is demanding your time for things which you believe is not important for you, which is not taking you to your goal, when you commit to it, then there is an urgency because you don't feel like doing it, but then you have committed to it, and then finally what happens? You urgently want to do it. Don't get into that mode of life where you will commit to things which is not relevant to you. Start saying no to such activities which comes under this particular quadrant. Not important, but it becomes urgent because it doesn't contribute to your goals. How many of you spend time here? How many of you spend your time? Like, how many of you find it difficult to say no to people? You can type me if that is the case. How many of you succumb to peer pressure? How many of you succumb to people? Of course. Yeah. Yeah. See, now you understand where exactly you are going wrong, right? Depends on the person. Yeah. I'm not saying completely shut down those people, completely shut off those family members. I'm not saying that. But it shouldn't become a habit. It shouldn't become a habit for you. You will have to learn to say no to people. They shouldn't take you for granted, And you should also think about, yourself that, no, I shouldn't be doing this every time. So that is very, very important. The second point that I would like to tell you is, don't spend on things which is not important to you, also which is not urgent, like spending too much time on your Facebook and your mobile, or engaging in any sort of leisure activities beyond limit, taking unnecessary advices from people, a constant feeling of boredom and doing nothing about it. So doing things, which is not at all important but not at all urgent also, like it is not like you have to, check your mobile messages like 200 times a day. You don't have to be like spending time on your mobile, because it is not important, it is not urgent that you should get it done. There is no commitment to it. These are the two major quadrants where we tend to spend a lot of time, and that is where our attitude towards time goes for a complete toss. So 2 points, guys. One is, learn to say no to people for things which do not take you towards your goal. First point. And the second point is, do not spend your time or engage yourself in activities which is not at all important for you and which is not at all urgent. I'm not saying stop using mobile phones. I'm not saying stop using Instagram and Facebook, but beyond a limit, if you do that, understand that you are spending your time in that not important, not urgent quadrant. These are the two quadrants where a lot of people who have failed with their goals, they spend their time on these two quadrants. So what exactly could be done? What exactly that we can probably do? What is the biggest challenge that all of us are facing? Procrastination. What do you mean by procrastination? Keeping it for another day, like saying that I'll start from the first of next month, I'll start from next Monday, I'll start from next Saturday. Now that is the biggest mistake that people do. That we keep procrastinating. Okay, 24th is the TCS test. I'll probably start by 10th, which is wrong. Okay, anyways, I have to become a project manager. I have to do a PMP certification. I'll probably do it like 6 months later. I still have time. Oh, gate, I still have like, okay, gate exam is happening in the month of Feb. I'll probably start preparing from, November, December. That is procrastination. That is the biggest enemy. If you ask me, this is the third enemy. The first one is committing to people who are not important to you, not getting to your goal. Second one, spending your time on things beyond a limit, which is not important, not urgent. And the third challenge is the most important, the biggest one is procrastination. Keeping it. I mean, if I'm like, okay, I have to start my workout. Okay, let me start from Monday. No, the day I decide, maybe maximum by tomorrow, I'll be like, no, I have to do it, because if I keep it for next Monday, I'm never going to do it. So you have to get out of this mindset of procrastination, which is very, very important when it comes to having the right attitude towards time management. So what can be done? So what is the biggest problem with us? Our problem is, whenever we set out to do something, we always think, I need to do this for lifelong. I need to do this for a long time. I need to do this for 3 years. I need to do this for 2 years. Maybe somebody asked me, somebody told me that I should get up early in the morning. And so my first reaction was this. So you mean to say I have to get up early in the morning for my entire life, like till the day I die? I must be getting up early in the morning. That means I can never have like late nights, because I love late nights. So you mean to say I can never have late nights? No. So what I did is I did something called a selective consistency. Like I want to enjoy both. I want to enjoy getting up early in the morning, as well as I want to enjoy that late night also. How do I do that? Can anyone tell me how do I do that? How do I do both? Don't tell me that, sir, no sleep. Just don't sleep, then you get both. Cheat days, yeah, cheat days, alternate days. Alternate days could also be difficult. A plan cheat day, yeah, plan cheat day. No, what I did is I went with a plan like this. So what I did is very simple, right? See, whenever you're trying to do habit installation, always understand that people say it takes 21 days to instill a habit. No, it actually takes around 63 to 65 days to instill a habit. So you want to prepare for IAF, you want to do a business analytics or business intelligence program, or you want to do something which is related to your goals, then you should understand that it will probably take you 63 days for you to make that into a habit. So what are the things that you can probably do? So three things. Keep 21 days to start off with. So what I did is I decided to get up at 4 o'clock for 21 days. Then I went back and I did my late nights. Then in between, then I do my intervals of getting up early in the morning so that the damage is not complete. So the first 21 days, probably just take like 15 minutes, make a plan, 15 minutes, 21 days. That's the deconstruction phase. The deconstruction phase is where you will start asking a lot of questions to yourself. Can I do this for 21 days? Am I doing it right? I'm feeling bad. Why should I do it? Do I actually want this to be done? I don't feel like doing it. So you will start asking a lot of questions to yourself in these 21 days. The challenge is to overcome that voice which is inside you, which is demotivating you not to do it. That is the challenge for the first 21 days. That you will have to overcome that voice inside you, because the voice inside you is not motivating you. The voice inside you is demotivating you. You want to get up early in the morning at 4 o'clock when the alarm rings. The first question that the inner voice will tell you is sleep. Sleep. It is only 4 o'clock. Your body needs sleep. You want to sleep. And then there is that person who's deep inside you who says that, no, I'm going to overcome this voice and I'm going to go to the next level. So the first 21 days will be the time when your inner voice will raise a lot of doubts and it will ask you a lot of questions, but you should understand that it is the voice of a failure. It is the voice of failure. It is not the voice of success. So you need to ask this question whether you want to overcome the voice of failure or not. So then probably after 21 days, what happens is once you have deconstructed that phase of yours, you get into the construction mode. The construction mode, what happens is it instills confidence inside you saying that you have been able to do it. You have been able to overcome that voice of failure for 21 days. That means you have that thing in you. That is your self-motivational 21 days, where you will construct that habit inside you saying that you are capable of doing it, you deserve it, and you do it. So then what happens in those 21 days? Increase the time period from 15 to 30 minutes. Because you've got into the self-motivating phase, so you can probably just increase the timeline for 21 days. Once you construct that habit inside, so then you will start finding better ways of doing it. You will start finding different ways of doing it. You will start finding different resources to do it because you are motivated to do that. So after that construction phase, what happens is the last 21 days is when the installation will happen. That means you don't have to listen to anybody. You don't have to tell to yourself nothing. You will just flow with the days, the next 21 days. You will just flow with it. Nobody has to tell you anything. Automatically you will get up at that particular time at 7:30 because you are installing that. See, it is just like this, guys. When you download, it takes a lot of time, but when it comes to installation, how much time does it take? If a download takes like 25 minutes for a particular app, the installation will probably happen in like 60 seconds, right? It would be that easy for you once you construct something, and then the installation will automatically happen. And that installation period is when you will have to spend maximum time, 45 minutes. Usually what happens is people go the other way around. They start off by, okay, I'm going to study for 45 minutes. Then what happens? By the time it is the 10th day, they go to 10 minutes. And by the time it is the 12th or 13th day, they shut down their books and that's it. You have to go the other way around. Start with shorter intervals. Increase the intervals as and when you pass 21 days. So deconstruct, okay, break your inner voice of failure. Then you get into the construction mode where you self-motivate yourself, self-assure yourself, and then you just go organically, indigenously with the way it is, with the maximum interval, which is 21 days. So any goal, you want to lose weight, you are preparing for TCS, you are preparing for a project management program, skill development program, or a research about a particular company, doing networking, always keep a plan like this: 21, 21, and 21 days. And that is how you install habits with people. Okay, so that's it.